Let me tell you a little bit about demand characteristics. Now, demand characteristics usually happen in a repeated measures design. What's a repeated measures design? Well, that's when the same participants do both conditions. And the demand characteristics occur when, by doing two conditions, the participants work out what the hypothesis will be because they see the independent variable. So imagine you're doing a memory test. In one condition it's early in the morning, and the second condition it's late at night to see if time affects memory. Well, the same participants will be able to work out what the IV is. Now, when they know that, they might then decide to help the experimenter by saying, oh, I'll try better in the evening, or try and influence the results the other way. So they're being affected by the demands of the experiment. They know the IV and they change their behaviour accordingly. Now, the next thing to talk about is investigator effects. And this is when the investigators might have certain characteristics that affects the behaviour of the participants. For example, if you have an investigator that's really boring and talks like this, it might be that when they're giving the standardized instructions, the participants get a little bit bored and they don't listen very properly to the experimenter, and therefore they don't understand the questions and don't do very well, for example. Or it might be that the experimenter is super attractive and the researchers, the participants really want to do well for that experimenter. All of these are experimenter effects, and they can change the behaviour of the participants. Sometimes it can even be unconscious. For example, the experimenter might give away clues about what the hypothesis is, and that leads to the participants behaving differently when they do their study. So you've got two issues there. You've got demand characteristics. That's when people work out the hypothesis, the participants work out the hypothesis and change their behaviour accordingly. And you've got investigator effects, and that's when there are certain characteristics of the investigator which lead the participants to change what they would do normally. I hope that's very clear.